I truly appreciate the time. The news now in detail. 3 down, 1 more to go as the Electoral Commission conducts the re-collation exercise of results in 4 disputed constituencies. So far, the NPP's Charles Forson, Patrick Yabuama, and Martin Techiman South declared winners after re-collation of results in Tema Central and Okai Central as well as Techiman South constituencies. We will take you live to the EC's Regional Coalition Center shortly as the coalition continues for Ablekuma North constituencies amidst protests by the NDC agents. But first, listen to the declaration of results for Tema Central, Okai Central, and Techiman South a while ago.
My name is Francis Chum, Deputy Returning Officer, Tema Central. Now, flowing from the court's decision for us to complete the collation of the 2 polling stations left in Tema Central, we have finalized the collation for all the 147 plus 1, which is special voting, making 148 polling stations in Tema Central. And here are the results. Mr. Charles Forson of the NPP had 18,870. Madam Ebi Bright of NDC had 18,815 votes. Mr. Frederick Enieje, an independent candidate, had 209 votes. Total valid votes, 37,894. Total rejected ballots, 144. Total vote cast, 38,038. Now, in view of the above results, and by the power vested in me, I, Francis Chum, Deputy Returning Officer, Tema Central, declare Mr. Charles Forson, MP-elect for Tema Central. Thank you.
Of course, we have 148 polling stations in the constituency. We did 146, remaining 2. So this puts finality to the exercise. If you are coming to say that, would they be going to court? The court is there for redress, and we are ever ready. But as I keep saying, it's a number game. 1 + 1 is always 2. It is not synergy that you say 1 + 1 will be 3. No, with elections, it is a number game. So once you compute it today, and it is Charles Forson had 18,870, it's never going to change.
And so that right earlier when they did the declaration back as the constituency.
With what number? You see, you may have won an election, but it comes with a number. Has she ever been able to mention a number?
What's the message to the constituency?
I'm thankful to them, and we are going to work and uplift the constituency. That's the most.
Harrison Kwabena Ejakwa, the Deputy Returning Officer for Okai Central constituency. My purpose today is by the court order given that has compelled the EC to continue the process where we left off during the coalition day after the election on the 7th. So, by the court order, this is the final coalition. The 31 polling stations that were asked to be added to make it complete. 141 polling centers. After the coalition today, Patrick Yabuama got 21,099 votes. Abdullahi Abu Baba Abubakar Sadiq got 90,368 votes. Total valid votes is 40,467. Total rejected ballots 198. Total votes cast, 40,665. With the authority given, I hereby declare that Patrick Yabuama, per the votes, is validly elected as the MP-elect for Okai Central constituency.
Thank you very much. We had to follow due process, and we always believed that the numbers were not going to change. But we thank God that we've had a peaceful collation exercise and a peaceful declaration.
My name is Amate Ajauto, returning officer for Techiman South. Following the court order that we should complete our collation today, we have come to the end of the collation for Techiman South. And here are the results for Techiman South. Martin Kwaku Aje Mensan-Kosa polled 46,663 votes. Christopher Beyere Baswente polled 43,429 votes. Donko Moses polled 140 votes. Boyong Idris polled 76 votes. Total valid votes are 90,308. Then total rejected ballots, 844. Total vote cards, 91,152. Now, there are issues with two outstanding polling stations. And these polling stations' votes have not been added to these votes that I've read to you. And these polling stations are DA Primary School, Bamiri. They have 657 voters. Islamic JHS, Abosu, also have 481 voters. If you add them up, you will get 1,138 voters in these two polling stations. Looking at the results on the summary sheets, even if you add this total number of voters to one candidate, it will not make a change for the winner. And following the number of votes polled by the candidates, Martin Aje Mensan-Kosa is leading with 46,663 votes. With the power vested in me as the returning officer for Techiman South, I therefore declare Martin Kwaku Aje Mensan-Kosa as Member of Parliament for Techiman South elect.
Amen. 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 Amen.
God for this opportunity, and same to the good people of Techiman South. We give all thanks to God. That will be all for it.
Well, you may have gone through a lot over these few weeks after the first declaration. Finally, you see that the end of the court.
It's the doing of the Lord. Let's see what the Lord will do.
Your constituents.
Well, I thank them for the support and their prayers, and God bless everybody.
What about your party?
Well, I thank everybody. Everybody whose prayers and support has been part of this. We thank them. Thank you.
All right, so let me now take you live to the EC's Regional Coalition Center, where my colleague Kenneth JC joins us live for more update. Ken, thanks so much for joining us here on JoyNewsRoom. Now, the only outstanding result is that of Ablekuma North, which has been fraught with some sort of, challenges. Tell us more on that.
Ablekuma North is the outstanding one. It has 62 outstanding polling stations. It has been delayed for long because there has been many objections that have been raised by the NDC agents, and the objection is that the collation is being done based on the pink sheets that have been provided by the NPP, and then they say that they don't understand why the EC will not come with a pink sheet or a scanned copy of their pink sheets. The Electoral Commission says it finds nothing wrong with the relying on that pink sheet by the NPP because they are authentic ones, and they cited an example that in the Domi-Kwabenya constituency, for instance, they relied on the pink sheets that were provided by the National Democratic Congress. But the NDC continues to say that in that particular instance, the pink sheets that were provided by the NDC were also brought by the Electoral Commission. They say that the Electoral Commission provided pink sheets in that constituency as well, but it is different from here where the EC has no pink sheets, both physically and electronically, but are relying on that ones or those ones that have been provided for by the NPP. So there are back and forth, sort of objections, but the Electoral Commission says the process will continue regardless of those objections. The NDC threatened to walk out of the process, and the Electoral Commission said they can walk out, and if they indeed walk out, the process will continue with or without them. So as we speak now, the process has resumed. What is notable here is that all the parliamentary candidates of the New Patriotic Party in the 4 constituencies are present here. The parliamentary candidate for Tema Central, representing the NPP, that's Charles Forson, is here. Okai Central's Yabuama is here. Martin J. Mensah-Kosa of Techiman South is here as well. And then Ekuya Efriye of Ablekuma North is here. But the NDC parliamentary candidates are not here because the party hierarchy said they officially do not recognize this coalition that is going on, and they say that they are seeking injunction, or they've served the Electoral Commission with an injunction not to continue on this process. So they do not recognize this process that is happening. But albeit they still have agents here who are monitoring the process, who have raised objections about what is happening here. Some of them have had to be escorted out of the room because the Electoral Commission said they wanted to distract the process now. But as we speak, the process is still ongoing, and you played the declaration which was made by the returning officer of Techiman South, declaring Martin J. Mensah-Kosa of the NPP as winner of that particular constituency. And earlier there have been some declarations that have been made by the Electoral Commission as well. They started with the declaration of the Tema Central, and they declared Charles Forson of the NPP as winner with 18,870 of the votes. The NDC's Ebi Bride came in second with 18,815 of the votes. The total valid votes was 37,894, and the total vote cast was 38,038. In Okai Central, the NPP's Patrick Yabuama was declared winner by the Electoral Commission after collation of all of the polling stations here, polling station results, and the results are as follows: 21,099 for NPP's Patrick Yabuama. The NDC's Baba Sadiq polled 19,368. Right. The rejected ballots were 198. The total vote cast was 40,665. The total valid votes cast was 40,467 as well. And then the Techiman South, which you just called, has also been declared for the NPP's Martin J. Mensah-Kosa with 46,663 of the votes, and his close contender, the NDC's Christopher Bayer, polled 43,429. So those are live visuals of what's happening here.
All right, Ken.
That's the table.
We shall come to you as and when the declaration for Ablekuma North is made. But really now, let's get onto the phone lines and speak to the Director of Legal Affairs for the NDC, lawyer Eduji Tamaklo, joins us live for some conversation on the back of these declarations, etc. Thanks so much, lawyer, for joining us here on JoyNewsRoom. Now, do you accept the results of the Re-collation done today as ordered by the High Court?
Okay, so good afternoon. I need to state categorically that the National Democratic Congress reject these purported re-declarations that are happening today at the Rich Office of the Electoral Commission. We reject it.
Why do you reject it?
No, so as we've indicated, the National Democratic Congress, together with our parliamentary candidates in these 4 constituencies, were the interested parties as far as the mandamus application or applications were concerned. Now, immediately after the court made those orders, we proceeded to the registry of the court to file a notice of appeal together with an application to stay the execution of those orders. Now, having done that, we proceeded to the Office of the Electoral Commission. They were not there. We moved to the law firm of the Commission's lawyer. Thankfully, we met the clerk in the law firm, and the processes were duly served on the clerk. Now, and this yesterday, the process having been served on them, it's our expectation that the Electoral Commission will abide with the processes that were set. Now, they have decided to blatantly defy the application to stay the execution and proceed with this purported re-declaration. And that is why we say we categorically reject this re-declaration.
So what's going to be the next line of action for the party? Will your candidate...
There's a lot that we have is that I'm not going to disclose. By close of day tomorrow, a few of them will become manifest.
You barely have 2 days to have this.
No. We appreciate the time, and we are taking every single step, having the timeline in mind.
That's fine. We'll leave the conversation here and, of course, come to you as and when we need more clarification. Eduji Tamaklo is the lawyer for the party, and, of course, interesting developments in that space. We shall bring you up to speed in our subsequent bulletins. But let's do the story. Final preparations are underway for the inauguration ceremony of President-elect John Mahama's inauguration. Now, it's all hands on deck for the people who will be playing various roles on the day. Now, lampposts and roads leading to the Black Star Square have been draped in colors of the red, gold, and green, creating a powerful visual display of national pride. Maxwell Agbagba joins us live from the Black Star Square, where he's been stationed all day to bring us up to speed on the latest on that. Thanks so much, Maxwell, and quickly tell us how preparation is shaping up.
So preparations are far advanced for Tuesday's ceremony. I can tell you that all the people who will be playing critical roles on the day are here today, busily working, even on a Sunday. So on a normal day here at the Black Star Square, on a Sunday, it's quiet here. But this place is buzzing with a lot of activity this afternoon because of the event that would be taking place on Tuesday. In the last 30 minutes, the Chief of Defense Staff himself was here. The CDS himself was here. He left just about 30 minutes ago. I also saw members of the Interim National Security Coordinating Team. The names were put out there some days ago by the President-elect John Mahama. I saw Larry Bavlulate. I also saw the other members, of the team here who were in a meeting some minutes ago. But we're privileged to have with us here the production designer here. He's going to tell us what the setup is like here. It's very beautiful, draped in the red, yellow, green colors. Whilst we're coming here, we saw it right from the street from the 28th February road down to the Black Star Square here. It's all about the red, yellow, green, and then the Black Star, in the middle. Let's speak to the production designer, Tony. He's going to tell us what they've done, here. Tony, you're welcome to join us.
Thank you.
Great. Can you give us an idea of, what we have, the setup here? I see you have the plan here in your hand.
Yes.
So kindly give us an idea of what it is like here.
Well, I mean, it's what should I call it? It's an area that has been set up to house Parliament, if you want to call it, because this is a parliamentary event, and we have section areas for different categories of people, and then we've been able to section it in different theme colors. I mean, of course, taking the theme from our flag, So we have the yellow section, and that's supposed to house the President-elect, the Chief Justice, the Speaker of Parliament, and the Vice President-elect. Okay, that's in the middle. In the middle of the yellow section. Yeah. To their right will be the spouses of the presidents and other dignitaries. That's the side. That's that side, yes. Yeah. And then to the left of that is going to be all the invited presidents that are coming. For the event, yes.
We already know 10 heads of state will be coming. We're told 2 vice presidents, 2 former presidents would also be in as well. Okay, so this is the setup for the yellow session. Okay, so now the green session?
Yes, so the green session is for all the dignitaries that have been invited to be here. Okay. So both the green section and the red section are going to be for anybody who has an invitation to be at the inauguration, and that's where they are going to be. Now beyond that is the black section. Okay. And the black section is going to house parliamentarians and then their spouses, both on the left and right of them. Yes.
Okay. So parliamentarians will be in the middle and their spouses will be
flanked on the sides. Yes, flanked on the sides. Okay. Yes.
And then we have the red section here. Also for
invited guests and other dignitaries. I don't really have all the names and numbers, but I mean pretty much that's what it is. Yes. Okay. That there in the middle is where the swearing will happen.
Okay.
Yes, right here.
This is where the president-elect will hold the sword. After taking the oath, swearing the oath, you stand here and then hold the sword of authority.
Correct. That's where it's going to be. And that days in the middle between the presidential days and the invited president's days is going to be where he gives us his final speech. I mean, when he's sworn in, that's where he's going to give us his speech.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Great. I see some LED screens also being mounted. Can you tell us
so
the purpose?
In the stands, both left and right of us are going to be where the general public are going to, sit. I mean, anyone can sit there. But then what we added on was to add on like giant LED screens, 3 section areas, just so they don't miss anything, just in case they can't see properly. They still have a better view of what's going on the ground. Now, beyond that, to our left behind the green section, where that stand is going to be also an LED screen, and that's for all the media that don't have accreditation to be in the inner perimeter. Okay. So that area has been left for them to be there. They can also watch the show and not miss anything and take their reports from there and everything like that. Yes.
Okay. So on the day, if you do not have accreditation, you're not welcome.
You can be here.
In the inner perimeter.
Well, even in the square, if you do not have accreditation, you cannot be here. Because the media, what we've done is there's a tunnel. There's a tunnel out there in the entrance. When you get there, the media is screened from there. All the media that's accredited to be here, all the equipment and everything is screened from there. So you have to have accreditation to even be here to be able to screen to get into the square.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just for clarification, some clarity. Aside from the inner perimeter, where if you do not have an invitation card, you cannot be. Even in the stands,
you do not. There's no invitation for those stands. But you'll be screened. I mean, security will still go. You'll still be screened before you can get into it.
There, you don't need accreditation.
You don't need invitation to be in the stands.
Okay.
Yes, but then you'll be screened, so you still have to go through. But when the place is cutting up and it's full and they can't take no more, I mean, the numbers, of course, then no one else can be allowed to be here because it has to be safe also. Yeah.
Tell us, how many days did it take you to start this preparation?
Well, on the ground itself, it's been from the 31st night.
The 31st night.
Yeah, we've been here since the 31st night. But I mean, prior to that, I mean, the planning, the drawings, everything, I think it was like 2-3 weeks before. Actually, it was 3 weeks before. And then all the meetings just so I agree on the plan to be sure that, okay, everybody understood the sizes and everything. Yes, that was like three weeks before. But from the grounds, we've been here since the 31st night.
Any challenges you've encountered so far?
No, not really, honestly. I mean, if you ask me, I would ask that the weather was a little,
It's still really hot.
Yeah, it's still really hot. But aside that, really, it's been smooth sailing. Yeah, so we're on it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks so much, for talking to us. Great. So you just heard from the production designer there, and we'll be speaking shortly to the Clerk of Parliament, who is also on the ground. He will be giving us details on what to expect on Tuesday. But just some minutes ago, I don't know if you can see from the stands there, that is the Navy, the Ghana Navy. The Ghana Navy, and they have been here rehearsing for the day. Just some minutes ago, they were here rehearsing. We are told that they will be mounting the first guard of honor for the president-elect, John Mahama. So he will be inspecting the Navy. The guard of honor that will be mounted here will be by the Navy, and they've been rehearsing a year. And they're resting, and I'm told they'll get back again to continue with the rehearsals. But we have the Clerk of Parliament here with us. Let's speak to the Clerk of Parliament. Let's find out from him how advanced our preparations, for Tuesday. Hello, sir. You're welcome to join us.
Thank you.
Great. Please want to find out how advanced our preparations for Tuesday?
As you can see, preparations are in advance. We are virtually done. It's just a matter of arranging the chairs, putting the rest of the carpet, tidying up the place, and then where we have to do the electrical works to ensure that microphones are working, everything is in order. Those are the fine details we have to do. Some embellishments here and there which cannot be done now. It should be close to the eve of the event, probably tomorrow, by close of day tomorrow. The square would have been ready, would have been properly swept. The place will be locked up from public interference. Nobody comes in here to sweep the place and guarantee the safety and security of all Ghanaians who will be here that day. So we are on course, as you can see.
Yeah. Busy days ahead for you, especially because of the swearing in of parliamentarians, the Speaker of Parliament, and all of that. How prepared are you yourself?
Very well prepared. Parliament is always prepared. We have very competent staff, and we've been doing this work for quite decades, and so there wouldn't be surprises. Of course, surprises may come because, of course, there could be some incidents here and there, but we are putting in place appropriate measures to ensure that we are on course and everything is in order as far as Parliament is concerned. For the events over here, we will ensure that the dignity of the House, the dignity of Parliament is inviolable. And wherever Parliament meets, we must ensure that we reflect that. That is why we have configured this place to mimic what obtains in Parliament, because it's a parliamentary sitting. It's not a sitting of executive. It's not, a kind of maybe a rally or something that people will congregate. No, it's a parliamentary sitting. And you can see that it's been well configured. The speakers, days is here. Yeah. The distinguished visitors galleries to the left, to the right of Speaker, other important galleries, and the members of Parliament are sitting at the other end. Speaker overlooks them and they face members. So we are ready. We are ready. And
can you walk us through the program lineup for the day?
The program lineup would start. The lineup commences with the election of the Speaker. Okay. That is it, because
that'll be at midnight.
That would be midnight, precisely so, because the Constitution is very clear. Article 95, 5 or so. 95, 5. No business shall be transacted by Parliament, okay, after the dissolution of Parliament. The business that can be transacted by a Parliament is the election of the Speaker. Okay. And that is after the dissolution of a Parliament. when does Parliament dissolve? Article 1131 says Parliament shall continue for 4 years from the date of its first sitting and shall then stand dissolved. So Parliament reconvenes on the 7th of January. The life of Parliament comes to an end 4 years from the date of its first sitting. It can only be the 6th of January, the 4th year, the midnight. And that is why the election of the Speaker will start from that period. So we will meet earlier, the seating and then the usual, networking, and if they have to do negotiations, whatever they have to do, will continue until midnight, 00 hours. The subsisting Parliament would have dissolved, and we start the process. So the new business that can be transacted is the election of the Speaker, which will be presided over by the Clerk to Parliament. And that will be done, will be seamlessly done, because nominations will be invited. We'll go through the process. What happened last 4 years, obviously was an aberration. Nobody desires any second. This time around, it does appear that there are some numbers to really help make definitive decisions, barring any hiccups. Which hiccups we would put our house in order to ensure that it doesn't occur. So once the Speaker is elected, the Speaker is elected.
So you're not expecting tensions like we saw last 4 years?
We are not expecting, neither are we saying that the possibility of occurrence, neither are we denying the possibility of occurrence. But what we are saying is that it's not a hung Parliament. And this is so obvious. It's not a hung Parliament. Once you don't have a hung Parliament, it's for the members with the majority seats to organize themselves and to say this is where we are going. Unless there's a split amongst them and they want to have 2, 3, 4 nominations, then you go through votings and all that. But we are hoping that all those things will be minimized. So once those things are minimized, simply we'll go through the process. Nominations will be invited, and we would, depending upon if there's just one nomination, the clerk will declare the person as having been duly elected. If there are more than one, we'll go by secret ballot and go through the process. And once a Speaker is elected, the Chief Justice will be in Parliament, will be attending upon the House, ready to administer the oath, to the Chief Justice. So once there is election, I'll invite the Chief Justice to, we'll invite the Chief Justice for the administration of oath and ask that the person elected as the Speaker, be conducted into the chamber for the administration of oath. The Speaker is conducted in the chamber. He is sworn in. After being sworn in, he is robed by the clerk. Having been robed by the clerk, he takes his seat as presiding officer. And the first thing he does, he calls the House to order. And having submitted to the will of the people, his first assignment is to swear members of Parliament elect in. And once members of Parliament elect are sworn in, then they elect deputy speakers. After electing the 2 deputy speakers, the job for the day would have been done. The Speaker suspends sitting for the House to reconvene at the designated venue, which is here, the Independence Square, for the swearing in of the President and the Vice President elect. So this is a roadmap. And when we get here,
the program lineup.
The program lineup is very clear. We come in here. Obviously, the judiciary come in. They normally process into the chamber. We have designated points where they will process into the chamber. They take their seats. The Chief Justice goes to the dais to sit at the appropriate place. Speaker, entourage with the clerks at table, enter the chamber and calls the House to order. We would have been expecting the President and the Vice President elect arrival. Once they arrive, and then we have signals, the Speaker gives indication, invites the leaders, majority, minority leaders, to join us to receive the President and the Vice President at the central lobby here. So the President's entourage joins the Speaker's entourage into the chamber, and after that, the program now continues. Speaker welcomes them into the House and, indicates the main event for the day, which is administration of oath, invites the Chief Justice to proceed to the days, calls His Excellency the President and Vice President elect in succession to take and subscribe to the oath. So that's it. The oath starts with the vice president, and after that, you do the president because that's the climax.
Okay, great. So you say that for now, like you rightly mentioned, all is set and we're ready.
All is set. Everything is set. We are ready. We're just waiting. So that we'll go through a seamless ceremony in Parliament for the election of the Speaker, and then we'll continue here.
Thanks so much for talking.
Pleasure.
Yeah. So you just had the Clerk of Parliament giving us details on what to expect on Tuesday. You heard him. He said all is set, and he says he's not expecting what happened some years ago, 4 years ago, in the Ghanaian legislature during the election of the Speaker. He says this, the 9th Parliament is not going to be a hang Parliament, so you expect definitive decisions, to be taken. So he expects it to be smooth during the election of the Speaker, and that will be followed subsequently by the swearing-in ceremony that will be happening here at the Black Star Square. It's quite far from here, but the national flags, the Ghanaian national flags are flying high. The Freedom and Justice Monument here has been draped in red, yellow, green. The Ghanaian flag, the Independence Roundabout also draped in the Ghana flag colors. Everything here is screaming red, yellow, green with a black star in the middle. Everything here is screaming patriotism and unity. So that's it. On Tuesday, we'll be here again to bring you live coverage of event here. We'll be keeping tabs on what will be happening, and we'll be bringing you the latest. So over to you in the studio, Pius.
Grateful Maxwell Agbagba for that comprehensive report from the Black Star Square and preparations ahead of Tuesday's inaugural ceremony. Let's shift focus now to some fire-related stories. A disturbing fire has razed down over 100 stalls and 30 shops in the Kwadaso Wood Market in the Kwadaso municipality of the Ashanti region. The devastating fire swept through the wood market on Saturday, ravaging the main sawmill, destroying major plants, equipment, and thousands of cedis worth of wood. Now, the affected victims are calling for support from government and other philanthropists after losing over millions of cedis to the fire. Nana Boachi Dankwa-Yadom has more.
The fire at the Kwadaso Wood Market caused huge damages to millions of properties in the wood market on Saturday evening before the intervention of the fire service. The blaze spread rapidly and ignited an explosion in a nearby ECT power supply chamber, causing a more devastating impact. Some of the victims say the fire service used more than 5 hours to fight the fire to avoid spreading to the nearby houses. Most of the victims are calling on the incoming administration to launch an investigation into the matter and also come to their aid. She says, what has happened here is new to us. We need the help of the authorities. We need you to come to our aid.
And when I came to the scene, to be frank, the fire was very great because it was something that we cannot, we the boys here, we cannot do anything about it. So we need to call the fire service for them to come so that they will come to our aid.
The assembly member at the Nsiasari electoral area at the Kwadaso municipality, Richard Tutu, speaking to Joy News, said no life has been lost, but the most affected items are the wood products and the milling machines.
It affected so much, and a lot of, I can say, they've lost a lot of properties here. A lot of properties here have been lost.
Have you been able to quantify how many traders have been affected?
About 30 here.
Going forward, what will be done?
We've just started the investigation on what caused the fire. So the assembly too will come in for us to know what to do in the near future.
Investigations are currently underway to identify the cause of the fire. For Joy News, Nana Bochi Dankwa-Yadom, Kumasi.
Back here in Accra, pressure is mounting on the government to immediately halt the trader-led reconstruction of the Techiman South clothing market following a devastating fire on Thursday, January 2. Now, the blaze claimed one life, destroyed over 1,000 stalls and caused losses worth millions of cedis. And despite the tragedy, traders have already begun rebuilding their stalls at the site. However, MP-elect for the Okai South constituency, Dr. Kingsley Techiman, has called for an immediate government intervention. Speaking to journalists shortly after his registration in Parliament, he insisted that the reconstruction must be government-led to ensure proper standards and safety.
My greatest sympathy to all the affected traders at the Techiman market. I hear they are reconstructing the market. I have a very strong opposition to that. We can't continue to do the same thing over and over again and expect a different result. The reconstruction of the market must be done by the government with pre-engineered or well-engineered structure, because we can't continue to reconstruct this market, the same things that gave up the fire. In as much as it's a very difficult thing and I sympathize with them, the government must take the reconstruction, properly engineered pathways, proper wiring, anything that will make good for a very good market. Act 1061, Section 218 of the Insurance Act of 2021 is very clear that commercial buildings or commercial places must be insured against fire, public liability, storms, and stuff like that, so that we can enforce, government will enforce for the purchase of insurance. Because the way they are constructing, like the previous ones, are all insurable. You can't insure Techiman market with these construction materials. So our risk exposure is very high. And we must get it that it is a business they are running. They are not charities. If you are doing business, insurance is a very legitimate cost line or cost item. Insurance is not expensive, especially some of these commercial buildings or commercial insurances that are backed by law, that is compulsory, that everybody undertakes. I think the rate is between 0.15% and 0.2%. For ease of calculation, if a value is, let's say, 1 million Ghana cedis, you use a higher one, which is 0.2%. The premium that is payable annually is just 2,000 cedis. So it's about time that we take some of these things very seriously. The act has been is in place. It's up to us to enforce it. But you can't enforce an act with the kind of construction that happens in places where we all patronize that much. I hear Kwadaso Wood Village 2 is on fire. My check from the industry shows that KJTR market was previously insured, but from 2022, they've stopped paying premiums and they are not on cover. Look at this thing that a lot of money went into it, KJTR market. It's uninsured as I speak with you. We can't continue like that. Techiman, the government must stop the reconstruction by the traders. We sympathize with them, but the basis for which they are reconstructing is a recipe, or we are just waiting for another fire to happen after all the reconstruction.
Now, special aide to John Mahama President-elect Joyce Bawa Muktari believes the market enhancement project under the next NDC government will ensure that fire incidents are reduced. Fire at a section of the Techiman market on Thursday destroyed properties running into millions of cedis. She spoke on NewsRoom.
I told my boss a few days ago that this must actually be the model for his conversations around enhancing markets in Ghana. If it means going back to the drawing boards, if it means redemarcating the area, to be certain that these are portions of this land that we intend to designate at sustainable markets, then certainly so be it, so that we can start to provide something that will augment, at least soften the hardships on these people. Information
Minister Fatimatu Abubakar said as at January 2017, Personnel of the Ghana Fire Service were 7,000, stressing that the President Akufo-Addo government recruited an additional 8,000 personnel into the service to combat future fires.
And also to talk about the preparedness of the Ghana Fire Service. This government, President Akufo-Addo-led government, has done so much when it comes to the Ghana Fire Service. And one has to do with capacity. By January 2017, the capacity of the fire service in terms of personnel was just 7,000. 7,000 men across the country. Now we have recruited 8,000, additional 8,000. And on record, if you check the capacity of the Ghana National Fire Service, they have 15,000 personnel.
So there should. Remember, you're still watching JoyNewsRoom with me, Pius Kojo Baka. We have more stories for you after this break. Welcome back to JoyNewsRoom with me, Pius Kojo Baka. Hundreds of patrons revealed in their good old days with music from the 90s at the Joy FM's 90s Jam held at the Pleasure Gardens at Jowulu here in Accra. As of 4 a.m. this morning, the energetic crowd was still singing and dancing with many enjoying drinks and food. Some of the patrons expressed their desire for the event to be held more than once a year. Maxwell Agbagba has more.
It's a lot of fun. A lot of people here are singing along to the old tunes back in the 90s, reliving the moment. Let's get into the crowd and speak to some of the people who are having a lot of fun here. Let's start. Okay. Okay. Hello, sir. You having fun? Yeah, I'm having too much fun. Yeah, I'm getting my yo. Marasiasi. We're going to my so bad. Try to bad tea. When Quandy ever say, the Honey Ferry Bag, the Superman, remember what I see. What am I high? What you want to tell me? Over this year, Monora Media, Unimedia, Adia, me do one, Miss Yassi, I mean, I can't stand it. Mentivigina, and not the same thing we cut a car. They say, what did you want? Yeah, that is what I'm talking about. We're really living all the fun here at the Pleasant Garden. Are you having fun? Very much, too much. What do you like about the 90s song? Man, I'm out of work, man. Everything is crazy. Everything is crazy. I see your baggy jeans. Yeah, man. Back to the day. Yes, sir. Yeah. You used to dance to them? Yeah, a lot. Everybody in the place. Did you hear that? Everybody in the place right now. Everybody in the place right now. Hey, everybody in the place, let's go. Everybody say, oh. Say, oh. Say, okay, let's listen to the crowd. Say, oh. Hey, let's go. Okay, you know how to sing it. Everybody, 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's get closer to some of the people here. Yeah. Okay. Hi, what's your name? Sadia. Come again? Sadia. Oh, are you having fun? Yeah, I am. Is this your favorite song from the 90s? One of them. What do you like about the 90s song? It's awesome. It's a nice film, right? And we don't enjoy it at the beginning of the year. 1, 2, 3. And then reminisce the whole time. Okay. Sing. Maniatina. Hi, what's your name? My name is Brian. Tell me, are you having fun? I'm having excited fun. I'm enjoying myself. This is the 90s. The 90s. I think I'm no, Matia. Udaya ne kumio. Sabi shaswa. Obiarati sawo. Wetin lady who front. Anwa ne kumio. Sabi shawicha. Okay. But she's having fun here. So two sisters marrying the crew. And then Eva Marie Eku. She's a Generation Z.
Put your fist up.
But a sister.
This is beautiful.
Z. But they are here.
Put your fist up like
Have
this,
it done. So let's talk to them. Let's find out from them what it has been like for them here. Hi.
Maxwell Agbagba filed that report. Exciting moment it was for us here at Joy News. Indeed, next year, hopefully, I will be part. That's it for the bulletin. I am Pius Kojo Baka. For more news, do log on to myjoyonline.com. Grateful serving you.